All right, guys, welcome back to the Cookies and Cream podcast. This is episode 1 of the Cookies and Cream podcast. This is the revival of the channel, and we have a couple of things we're going to talk about. But of course, we're talking about the biggest movie that came out this week. Barbie, no, cringe. Oppenheimer, 3 hours long. I would never. Resident Evil Death Island, bro. When I tell you, I watched this movie until the 35-minute, 55-second. No, I'm just kidding. So we both watched the movie before coming here, and I saw a little bit on social media before we watched it, and I sent you this. I saw Susie Sphere Hunter on. She said she really liked the movie, and she liked everybody. Everyone got it. Everyone got a lot of shine and everything like that. And she immediately got dogpiled. Like, good. Yeah, she said it was one of the best CG movies, like one of the best CG Resident Evil movies. Which is like saying like, oh, one of the burnt cookies is better than all of the other burnt cookies. Like it's like a statement without substance. But like going back, and of course, yeah, like I'm sure you're going to say it. I'm going to say it. It wasn't a good movie, but like. And there's a lot of stupid stuff in it, but it made me realize like how much stupid stuff is in Resident Evil. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but I think first, let's talk about the stuff you liked about the movie.
Okay. So what I liked about the movie is having, all these characters like kind of finally interact with each other besides like Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah. I really like the setting. I thought Alcatraz Island was really cool. If you're a Call of Duty Zombies player, you would know that, zombies and Alcatraz kind of go hard together.
Damn, you're right. Yeah.
I think I don't know. That's all I could say that I enjoyed about the movie.
Damn, bro, I got a ton of things I hate, but there's some stuff I like. I'm going to change your mind on some things. Some of the action scenes were kind of dope, bro. Like when Jill like is fighting a zombie in the beginning and she pushes him onto the glass table and shoots him until the glass table breaks. I'm sorry, that went hard. That went so hard. I'm like, damn, like I had to blink. I'm like, wait, am I watching John Wick 5? Is this a Resident Evil movie? That went so hard. What else was good? Hey, anytime they mention Raccoon City, I'm like, this is dope. I'm just a Raccoon City lover, bro. I'm the Raccoon City stan. Whenever they even like do anything about it, I'm like, all right, this is dope. What else was good about it? Oh, there was a liquor, so yeah. Best monster that was there too. I also thought like the idea of having the T virus shot through drones is like an awesome idea. Like you do a billion drones and you can infect the whole world. You know what I mean? It can be much more infectious than a bite. I thought that was a good idea, but wait, go ahead.
The idea sounds cool on paper, I think.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. The idea sounds good on paper, but the villain is actually brain dead. So it actually wasn't that cool in practice. But like, I was also thinking too, like, I know you've seen The Thing. I know you've seen the scene from The Thing where they're like, who is the Thing? Like if it was like a drone that like attacked you and like you felt the strain in your body, but like you didn't want to tell anybody you're infected because like they'd kill you. Like if it was like a who is infected type of movie, that would have been dope. But like it's all main characters. We all know they're not going to die, so it's whatever.
I mean, hire you at that point because that's better than anything this movie had to offer.
Yeah.
Are you done with the good?
I'm trying so hard to think. I think the movie looked good most of the time. Like the characters look good. Like Jill is literally from RE3 remake. Yeah.
All right. I want to tap into the bad because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Out of this. Okay, I'm cracking open this can of worms. Okay. The writing is so corny in this movie. Like, one of the things I hated was when they got into the final sequence, right? And this obviously a Resident Evil giant muscle mass monster comes out of nowhere.
Of course.
And everyone's just like, huh. This is the hardest thing I had to do since that 5 a.m. shit this morning. And like, bro, I hate the writing. It's so corny. It's literally like these characters are like if they were ripped out of a 5-year-old scrapbook.
No, one really bad one was with Leon and Jill. Jill's like, geez, how many liquors are there? Leon throws a grenade and he goes, 0. Got it.
Oh.
Bro. Like, that's even bad for Leon, bro.
Okay, no, what I kind of liked about that scene, though, was that Jill didn't get it, and, like, only the kind of the viewer is to understand, like, Leon's corny humor.
Yeah. And you know what else was good about that scene? See, I'm going back to the good. See, I'm trying to defend this movie. You're trying to tear it down. You're a hater. When Jill got like her leg snagged by the liquor and she's getting pulled, she's like stabbing other liquors to the way to like on her way to get like attacked by the other liquor. That was dope. Okay, I definitely don't have anything else good to say about this movie. We can continue with the bad.
All right, let me continue. Okay. When the writing is really corny, I hated how there was the scene where Jill was going to get the virus or like take down the guys when Chris and Leon got captured, and then Leon and Chris are both like, "We got Jill," but Leon doesn't have the right to say that.
It's like, facts.
He has no idea. He has no like prior info of Jill. We haven't seen that in the games before, and in no media from the Resident Evil series, at least to my knowledge.
No,
like,
this Leon is the first time we ever saw them meet.
Yeah, Leon doesn't know Jill's got it. All right.
Yeah.
He's just dick. He's just dick riding the situation. He's dick riding the plot. Okay.
He is. He undeniably he is.
What else I hate about the movie, and I think this is a huge thing with the Resident Evil movies, is that we get this. Okay, we're introduced to a couple new characters, but the two ones of interest we have Dark Leon and Dark Jill. They're of this movie.
Yeah.
And what I don't like about Dark Leon is that he's just like he's got absolutely no reasoning for being bad. He's just chaotically evil, which is the worst archetype.
Yeah.
To just hate things, to just be evil. Like that's what we have. And he tries to build up this backstory. Like we can't. I can't like a villain. I can't like a villain that I hate.
Yeah. And the thing is, he was corny even in the flashback scene. Like, okay, think about what happened there. So they were holding a line, right, in Raccoon City, and a bunch of their men got bitten, right? So they're in the room, and Umbrella's saying, kill the infected, right? So his best friend's actually doing what he's supposed to do, because they've already seen the zombies. They've already known, like, they're zombies, right? And then he's like, all right, we're going to kill the infected. And I don't even know his name. Evil Leon's like, no, think about what you're doing. No. And tries to like wrestle the machine gun from him. And then he winds up getting bitten. You know why? Because Evil Leon isn't helping your boy shoot zombies. And 2, Evil Leon delayed the freaking shooting process. So Evil Leon, the fact that he even got bitten is your fault, first of all. And then he calls back in. And he's like, 1 infected and 1 uninfected. What should I do? Kill the infected. Wow, the answer that you're getting from Umbrella has not changed in the last 10 seconds? And now Evil Leon's like, I gotta kill my friend. Why were you just fighting 10 minutes ago? Why were you fighting 5 minutes ago? Like, he's literally stupid. And I think, like, no offense, I think they, like, tried to write him in a way where he has, like, some social deficiency because he's just crazy. Like, even in the flashback, even, like, when he's, like, banging his cane, he's, like, literally crazy.
Yeah, to touch on that part on how he literally, like, he had ethics for zombies, but he didn't towards his alleged best friend when he just had to pull the trigger on him.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm going to say it too. He didn't need to bang the briefcase that many times. He was doing it for fun. He was literally smashing it over and over and over again for fun. He didn't need to really do that at all because he could have smashed until he's unconscious and grabbed the UMP-45. Bro was having a field day, and he's pretending he wasn't. He's pretending he's torn up by it. You're not.
Another thing I don't like about the movie, I'm going to be leaving this subject, so if you want to add anything else before I continue,
No, you're
go
good.
for it.
You're good.
Um, the models are so clunky sometimes. Like, there's moments where Chris is just standing, and he just like he's like I can't, like, he's physicless. Like, he doesn't look like a person would stand like that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. CG movies have that sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
Very bad. And for an hour and 30-minute movie, I feel like they could have gave him more like mobility. Another thing, they I don't know what Capcom has against Jill, but for some reason she always appears the exact same. And there's a weird fetish. You could tell, like, like the author's poorly disguised kink.
Yeah, yeah.
They always have that with Jill and any enemy with a tongue
And a tentacle, bro. It's so weird.
It's really, really weird. I don't understand. Oh yeah, actually, I'm remembering another thing from the game. Leon Kennedy, voice actor, is Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's dope.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to confirm that, and it makes me like Leon and Ganondorf a lot better now. At least the new Ganondorf. I thought that was really cool, and I'm gonna just sharing that cool factoid.
Is that why in Tears of the Kingdom he said like Hunnigan? Was that like a East? No, I'm just kidding. But no, like with Jill too. Okay, I'm gonna go back. This movie is set after Resident Evil 6, and I'm assuming sometime before Resident Evil 7. Why does Jill look like she's from Resident Evil 3? It's been like 10 years since then, first of all. Maybe even 20 years since then. And we already know what she looks like after Resident Evil 4. She looks like the BSAA with the ponytail, and now her hair is blonde. Okay, maybe she dyed her hair back to brown, right? But like, she has a model of what she looked like during that time, and they're like, oh, we have the Resident Evil 3 remake model, and that game was 4 hours long, so might as well just reuse it.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. Yeah, going back to that, like, they have a problem with Jill, and I don't get it. And yeah, I think they're trying to ride off the Resident Evil high of 3 make, because they're like, oh, well, we released 3 make only a couple years ago, so Jill has to look. But it's like bullshit, because Leon looks completely different.
He does.
And Chris looks way different than from when we last see him in RE8. So I don't know what's up with Jill, why they got to keep her the same. I think it's because, I don't know.
No, I think it's literally just low effort. I think Leon and Claire only have new models because they got the new models in the Netflix like miniseries, like Panam Stam. They got new models. Chris, he's been in CG movies before. I think they're like, we don't want to make a new Jill model. Let's just use Resident Evil 3 remake. She looks exactly the same.
Model. I was convinced too. Like, I'm convinced she has. I don't know. It has to be the same tank top. She's wearing the same outfit.
Literally the same outfit from when Raccoon City got nuked. Like, it smells, bro. It's disgusting.
You know what the worst part of the situation is? The worst confirmation we got from this movie?
What?
Jill doesn't shower. Jill's a smelly gamer.
No, definitely. There was a lot of stupid things in this movie. Like, the way this movie made me think, it made me realize there is a lot of stuff stupid in Resident Evil. So, like, when Rebecca Chambers is like, oh, this T-virus is slightly different, I could just make a new vaccine for this. That's, like, an insane thing to say, given, like, all the COVID stuff. Like, everyone's hyper aware of that now, and, like, we know that's not how that works. You can't just do it like that. So when she said that, I'm like, oh, that's really, like, weird and stupid. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, you make like 4 vaccines like in the games just on the fly. That's not that weird. And it's just like stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is Jill holding a light rifle to a the monster's head while it's about to eat her, that's really stupid. And I'm like, no, that's kind of the same thing as Resident Evil 3 remake. It's like all the stupid stuff that I said about this movie or I thought about this movie, they exist in the game somehow. It's like people want to be hypercritical about the movie and like, it's fun and stuff, but like most of this stupid stuff is in the games too. And we're just like, okay, game's fun, so it's okay.
And to add to that, what the, I don't know why they give like the useless plot armor. Like we know these characters aren't gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's what I don't get with this virus. Okay, Leon and Chris get infected for like 15 minutes in this movie.
Yep.
And they're like weak. They're like, oh, I can't move. Like, oh, it's taking me down. But from the people we've seen, normal ass civilians with zero plot armor, they were infected and didn't even know it and showed zero symptoms and were turning in seconds.
Facts.
So why give it to Leon and Chris if you're gonna drag the scene out for like 15 minutes?
Exactly.
Like
It doesn't match up. It doesn't match up.
It doesn't.
I was just thinking about that. And on top of that, to relate to what you just said, you know what would be really good right now? Resident Evil movies, maybe even CG Resident Evil movies, where we do not know the characters at all. If you want to, we have Rose now, right? In Resident Evil 8, we have the Resident Evil 8 DLC. Maybe you, want to build out new characters, and maybe you want to integrate the movies into them. But, like, if you have a movie with Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, I know they're not going to die because they get infected. You're not going to kill them off in this terrible movie. That's not how these characters work. Like use like Resident Evil Outbreak with random characters where I don't know if, they're all going to make it at the end. That would be way better than, like, I knew every single person was going to survive. There was no, and who cares about the doctor? The doctor died, but like when the main characters are people we already know and know aren't going to die, like it feels like nothing.
That's a good point. And the sad part is we've seen them do this with the very first Resident Evil movie. They created all new characters. Obvious, like Alice was the main character.
Director's wife.
Director's wife. The author's poorly disguised fetish.
So based.
And we got like 10 characters in that movie, and a lot of them died, but we didn't know which ones we were living. And some lived, and obviously some died. There was no predicting it. But the Resident Evil games have also brought us new characters. Like we got Sheva, we've gotten Ashley, and they just they kill them off after their respected games.
Yeah. Like make a movie with like Ashley or Sheva and give them a sidekick and maybe kill off their. Oh, dude, Max just knocked on the door crazy. That, oh my gosh, got jump scared. But
problems with the movie too.
Yeah, no. Resident Evil in real life, he's infected. But like, I kind of think that's too much. Give me totally new characters and maybe build towards Resident Evil 8 a little bit if you want it. Like, here's the thing. Here's my biggest complaint. These movies are canon. I believe these movies are canon. If you're going to make canon movies, do not freaking do main characters that we know. If you want to do non-canon movies where Chris Redfield dies, that's cool too. Pick one of these options, and I prefer to make canon movies with real people.
Yeah, I think tying the, because it's a whole different, isn't it a different company that makes the movies?
I think so. There was a bunch of studios at the beginning of it that I'd never heard of before, so they must.
Yeah, so they got so like, if they're gonna make movies, it should be done, or the script should be written by at least the makers of the games, yeah. Or like better, someone who knows their stuff, because I feel like fan service could be better at this point. And also, can we talk about the action scenes?
Yeah. Like I said, I did like a couple of them, but like most of them were just point shoot. But yeah,
talk about the bicycle scene, the motorcycle scene in the beginning.
Dude, Leon's just shooting bullets like crazy and missing. Like, you know what? Yeah. When I first saw that, I said Leon Kennedy would never just shoot on a highway, like where other people can get hit. But then I remembered he ran into somebody's house and murdered them. So I was kind of wrong on
that. With his respected weapon of choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I despise the scene where he got close to the guardrail and she like started running on the wall.
Yeah, I
Wall.
think it was a truck. Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. She was running as fast as the motorcycle, probably going like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I think
She had some virus, like, like Wesker's super fast. She had something like that. But like,
yeah, so quick though. Like she died to metal. She died to tetanus.
exactly. No, you're right. Like, that's
She
stupid.
had I think what for a second I thought she was Krauser's daughter. What was she canonically?
I think it had to have been another one of the CG ones. He said that daughter was somebody's lapdog. It had to have been another CG movie. I watched the Pan Stam miniseries. I had no clue what he's talking about. But also, when she's beating his ass, all I can say is like Leon's getting like more and more attracted to her each time like she's hitting him. It's like another Ada Wong situation. The
Oh yeah.
author's like poorly disguised fetish type stuff. But like, yeah, you're right about everything about that scene and her as a character.
Yeah. It's really bad. And it doesn't make the movie enjoyable. Like when you can tell, like obviously Resident Evil's been cheesy for a long time, but like it shouldn't be this bad.
Yeah.
I feel like the movies would be a lot better if they were just like zombie movies. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they're more action zombie movies.
No, we have to watch the second Resident Evil movie, like the one where they actually do Raccoon City. Because I remember that I watched it when I was like 7 years old, but I remember it being like at least stores at least a little bit enjoyable. But like I thought this was kind of fun to watch, just because it was fan service, but it's not good at all.
It's bad fan service. It's piss poor fan service. It's really all about the author's poorly disguised fetish and less about the fans. At least that was my takeaway.
Yeah, Jill in the same costume is like so like first of all like strange and just so lazy. I just keep thinking about that more. Like she's not even just in the same costume; it's the same exact model. Like that's like this movie
Same.
is for Resident Evil fans. At least like throw her in something like a BSAA outfit or something. Like it's crazy.
It's disingenuous to the character, and they've got to fix that.
Yeah, that maybe they'll release a patch to the movie.
So
1.01.
we talked about the new, but we talked about bad evil Leon, stinky evil Leon, and um reverse upside down Jill. I don't know if you want to call her Jill knockoff or an Ada Wong knockoff. I don't.
Ada Wong knockoff for sure.
Ada knockoff, Ada Wong, Ada wrong.
Ada Wrong, yes.
Um, do you have anything else to say about the movie?
I don't think so. I just think it's underplayed that like someone said it in the movie. It's like Chris Redfield. Every single time you go on a mission, like everyone dies. Like what is it? Rebecca Chamber brings like 10 men and they die in an instant. Like everyone at the end of the movie celebrating, but they're just forgetting the fact like 100 people died on Alcatraz like live in front of their face. Like you did not kick ass. You like watched a mini genocide. Like y'all should not be celebrating at all.
Wait, that's true. Yeah, these aren't even heroes.
Yeah. They're just lucky.
they got luck on their side, bro.
It's
Oh my gosh.
ridiculous.
A suit like a superhero from the Deadpool series. Have you seen Deadpool 2?
Yeah, I've seen Deadpool too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Bro,
like when they're at the helicopter scene and everyone dies one by one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um so do you have anything else to say about the movie?
I wasted $6, but it was good content. Um, all the voice actors were game voice actors, right? I think they were. I didn't like hear any voice where I thought, "Oh, that's strange," and I didn't hear any voice line actually. Actually, cool moment here. Hunnigan tells Rebecca to shut the hell up. That was funny. Um,
I didn't catch that.
Rebecca's like, "Oh, Hunnigan, you're working with Leon." She's like, "Yeah, but I can't reach him. Let's just cut to the chase." So W Hunnigan as usual, but that was cool. Voice actors did great with what they had, but like I didn't, you know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I could say about it. I have nothing else. Also, go lickers. Wish there was some police dogs in there. I love me my zombie dogs, but oh well.
I would have preferred a stalker enemy.
Oh
In
hell yeah,
Alcatraz, it felt cooler since it's such tight corridors,
hell yeah.
but they were running from lickers and flies the majority of the movie. Do you want to? How you've been playing Tears of the Kingdom?
Nah, bro, not like that. Not like that. I literally just got off the island, and and I
It's
and I started to like roam around, and I built a fire car. But before we move on, I wanted to say it's kind of sad because like with Resident Evil 8 and now that Rose has weird powers again, I'm starting to feel Resident Evil is like starting to go into like the wookie wacky Gears of War territory again. So it's kind of sad that like the golden age after Resident Evil 2 remake is over. It officially ended with Resident Evil 4 remake. We're not going to get like any cool like single player like scary like good. I don't Resident Evil 9, it's going to have Rose in it for sure, and she's going to be weird and she's going to have powers. So like
um, yeah, it will have. It's probably gonna have Rose in it. I don't like the whole power thing. I feel like we're gonna end up in like it's gonna yeah, it's not like you're right. It's not gonna be Resident Evil anymore. I think they had the good idea with the soft reboot, but that's what it should have been. It should have been an entire reboot. I don't think they should have continued the stories. Like, because Chris is obviously 55 years old now.
yeah, he's toast.
Leon's seen better days.
Yep.
I think, yeah, it would have just made more sense for them to just start over with new characters. But it seems like everything's getting out of hand now, and I don't want a character with superpowers for the next survival horror game.
Yeah.
I'm honestly more excited for the Silent 2 remastered now more than I am for Resident Evil 9.
Yeah, and that's coming up soon. That's actually really really soon.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's actually hype, yeah.
I've never played Silent Hill, but from gameplays I've watched, the game looks really good.
It looks good, and it seems like people are okay with like skipping Silent Hill 1 remake, which is strange. If I was a fan, I probably would want them all, but maybe Silent Hill 2 is just superior, but whatever. Or maybe they'll do like a Silent Hill 1 and 3 remake together, because I think some of the same characters are in those together. But yeah, that's whatever. That's no biggie.
It's kind of like they're doing with what Capcom did with remakes. They just went straight to RE2. Obviously, they remade RE1, but that was still like 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Put it in HD. And the same game. Because like they rewrote the stories. So why not do a rewrite story for 1 as well?
Yeah.
If you're gonna go. So I think they're just dick riding what Resident Evil did. They could have easily made Silent Hill 1 remake, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you also showed me that Clock Tower remake they're doing.
Oh hell yeah, bro! They got Scissor. I think it's just a remaster. I don't think is it a remake.
No, it looks like a remaster.
Yeah, it's just a remaster. But like, bro, Scissor Man's the best walking animation all of gaming, hands down.
Dude, it's crazy how they created such a lackluster character, but actually made it like scary.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't know, like, obviously horror games have changed a lot in the last like, even like 15-ish years, because Outlast was what, almost 10 years ago at this point, even longer. Like everything's changed after Outlast, and like Clock Tower is like one of the first freaking Outlast. Like it's like Outlast was like a remaster to Clock Tower, where you just hide. That's all Clock Tower is, bro. Hide, throw holy water, and eat hot chip. That's it.
No. Hear me out, because I'm going to defend this game a bit. I think Clock Tower was probably not the original point and click, but I would be terribly wrong if I took the take of it being a bad survival horror game, because for the time there was not much, like, I guess, like, they couldn't like do really crazy stuff with like games, So the point and click survival horror was cool. Then they did the second one for the PS1, which it looks bad. But the third one for the PS2, that game was dope, and
Bro, that
you kind
game's
of got
horrifying, bro.
dude. It's terrifying game. I think that Clock Tower, fading out of existence, is like a big thing. I'm kind of sad about with survival horror genre because I think they could have went really far with that franchise. It was really good, and the setting was great, and yeah, the third one was horrifying. But you got like weapons in it towards the end. I believe you're getting like a bow and arrow.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is too, with Clock Tower 3 is the only game I ever rage quit in my entire life out of fear. When you're a kid, you rage quit Resident Evil because you get stuck on some stupid puzzle. No, bro. Clock Tower 3, I rage quit out of fear. My 10-year-old heart couldn't take it. I was about to go into cardiac arrest over that game. If there's any remake I want right now, it's one Clock Tower 3, two the Square Enix third. What is that called? I'll have to think about it. It'll come to me. But yeah, Clock Tower 3. That'd be such a freaking dope remake, bro. Over the shoulder. No, it's chase sequences, so I don't know if over the shoulder would work. It probably would have to be fixed camera still, but still, that game is so dope.
Oh, the game. But you're getting onto a really good point. Being able to connect with the player. Clock Tower 3, like you were saying, you rage quit because of being scared.
Yeah.
Had a mechanic in that game where your main character also got scared, and I feel like that was a really good take, like really good thing to add, because like your character gets scared, and I think she takes more damage. I think she either runs faster or runs slower, but like
she runs frantically. Like once you're all the way scared out, you run frantically and you randomly stumble and you start like hallucinating, I think too.
Definitely makes it like the game more scary, because if your player's scared, you have more of a connection with that. Like when Leon's like roundhousing enemies and just breaking into foreigners' houses and shooting them up and eating hot shit.
Yeah,
it's obvious you're kind of like, yeah, fuck their shit up, man. You're not like, oh my gosh, what's around the next corner?
Yeah, no, definitely. And you know what trope is underrated? It actually happens early in Clock Tower 3 and in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Big dudes just breaking through walls. Like, oh, he's right behind me. Nope, break through a wall right in front of you. Get owned, loser. That's like one of the best horror game takes.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I remember you lending me the Evil Within, and it has a really like big axe wielding dude, kind of like in RE5.
Yeah.
Has one of those guys in the beginning, but also there's a character, scariest horror villain character I've ever encountered in a game. It was the lady, I don't know her name, but she had like all these arms, all these legs, the long black hair, the kind of had the grudge look going on. And that scared the shit out of me. Like I literally could not play that game at certain times, because as soon as you got like the sound that like you're about to run into her, I think it was usually like there'd be a pile of like hair or like blood on the floor, and you'd run to that, and then that's when she'd spawn out. Oh, yeah. Dude, that was horrifying. That was done really well. I think the first Evil Within was also Capcom, I believe, or the creators of the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah, it was a creator of Resident Evil franchise. I don't think it was Capcom. I forget. It's a big company that made that game, though. It might be Square. I don't remember. But dude, I feel like I need to freaking go back and play it. I just like the VHS aesthetic actually gives me a headache. So I probably will just play it with a mod if I do play it.
You could tell that the creator was definitely trying to like reinforce the original, what originally made Resident Evil good, since they had kind of like having their fall down phase at the time the Evil Within came out. Like they had Resident Evil 6 out.
Yeah.
And tell that with the Evil Within, he was trying to do what got messed up with the RE franchise.
Yeah. I feel like everyone like has different opinions about the Evil Within. They think the ending's stupid and stuff like that, but like everyone agrees the monster design is peak.
Yeah, that game was hot. So what games are you playing right now?
My backlog is so crazy right now. I could buy no more games like within the next 5 years, and I would still be like
have like 100 games to play. But like, yeah, I've been playing the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart game, and that game is just like playing this PS5 game. I think it came out like right when it came, like when the PS5 came out. It just looks so pretty. It looks so good. That's all I could think about. Every time I play it, I'm like, geez, PS5 games look so good.
I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom alongside with some multiplayer games, and all I got to say, man, that game, cooking for 6 years, it's burnt. It's a letdown.
Damn,
They give
bro.
you.
Damn.
Yeah, I realized that like a few weeks after I beat. No, I kind of realized that as I was coming towards the end of the game. It's it doesn't build on the previous Breath of the Wild. Like it literally doesn't build off what they gave us before. It just has the same map. The story's completely different. They introduce all these new characters that we had no idea of before. That 10,000-year war they told you about in Breath of the Wild, remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even speak about that in this game. They give us a whole bunch of new characters from the past that like we had no connection with before. Mm-hmm. So they didn't even, I wouldn't even say it's a sequel. I'd say it's its own game. And, you know, they give us the same Breath of the Wild. The only thing new, they kind of added like one new thing that's like supposed to be a big secret to everyone. And they did a good job at keeping it a secret. But once you realize, like once you've seen it, you've seen it. Like there's really nothing to it. And there's literally, I think there's just like a handful of new enemies. And the fighting style is all the same. You still only get 3 weapon types: the spears, the long swords, and the normal swords. So I don't know what the fuck they were doing for 6 years.
Bro, they were cooking all of the freaking when you meld 2 weapons together. That's all they've been doing the past 5 years.
Really, and when you fuse a weapon together, it looks ugly as hell.
It does.
It's so clunky. So I don't. I feel like the selling point for the game, it wasn't the Sky Islands. It wasn't the voice acting. It was, I think Ganondorf sold the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Because people, for some reason, Ganondorf is like 10 times more popular than Ganon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Ganondorf is although I do love Ganon, I like Ganon when he's done right. Okay, let's take Ocarina of Time for example, right? You haven't played that game, or you haven't beat it at least.
Yeah.
But when you beat Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time, which is a fun fight, and he transforms to Ganon, I think that was the peak Ganon design, because you're on a platform surrounded by lava, and it's on the N64 hardware, so like the lighting wasn't really good, so it looks really dark, and all you can see is Ganon's eyes as he's coming for you. And when you can really only see him when the thunder like when the lightning hits.
Yeah,
dude, it just makes overall for a really good fight. And then they come back with Ganondorf in Wind Waker, and
goofiest version.
The what?
Goofiest version. Dick neck having ass.
Here's the thing: when you play Twilight Princess in Wind Waker, and you're like, oh Ganondorf. The coolest thing is about you'll like them a lot more once you realize that it's the same Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time, the exact same character. So with and here's the little thing I like with Wind Waker, the Ganondorf you fight, that Ganondorf in Wind Waker fought the Ocarina of Time Link, and he got his ass beat, right? Like that's the story of Wind Waker, and that's how it got flooded, because Ocarina of Time Link got warped out of that universe because he went back to being a kid and got put into another universe.
Timeline shenanigans.
So when that Ganondorf is kind of like trying to like when he's trying to collect the Triforce, I like how they wrote this character. He's like you can tell he's a changed man. He's like talking about how he only ever wanted to like help his people because they were in the desert and they were like dying because of like exhaustion and like no water, lack of water.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's just a lot more like put together man. And you need that to get the full Triforce. Like you need to have that perfect balance. Like this is canon. You need to have the perfect balance of power, courage, and wisdom.
Yeah.
So And he doesn't underestimate Link in the game. Like he like takes him seriously. In Twilight Princess, this is the Ganondorf that it's the same Ocarina of Time Ganondorf, but it's the one where young Link went back in time and snitched on his ass for being evil to the king. So he never met Link. So he kind of power for granted. And it has none of that in the dialogue. But the best part about the Twilight Princess one is that the Link you're playing as is a descendant of the Ocarina of Time Link.
Yeah.
When we're getting Ganondorf back in this game is I'm going to get back to all of this. Trust me, it's going to all piece together. And remember how when you first in the opening sequence of Tears of the Kingdom, when you're introduced to Ganondorf as like a basically a skeleton, and he's like Rauru put his faith in you.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to take it back again all the way to Ocarina of Time, because the king in Ocarina of Time, or at least the Sage of Light, the first sage you meet, his name is King Rauru. So I thought how it was going to be is that was going to go all the way back to the same Ganondorf. Dude, I thought this game was about to be a mind fuck, an amazing continuation to the same Ganondorf we last got introduced in Twilight Princess like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, they fucked it up. Fucking cooked, fucking raw, fucking burnt. I don't care.
Bro, it's burnt on the outside, raw in the middle. That's crazy. But like, what I obviously played the beginning. Like, what is Ganondorf like? As Ganondorf, I know, it's just he's just some ancient evil, and he's awake now. Like, does he even have it back? Because is Breath of the Wild before? Where's Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom on the timeline? Also, after this too, you said they don't talk about the 1,000-Year War. I know you played like the Hyrule Warriors game that actually had the story? Did that like game matter? Like, you know, like I know like some of the champions came back in that. You know what I mean? Like there was some big stuff in that game. Did that even matter at all or no?
Non-canon.
Oh, it's not canon? That game's not canon?
Nope.
Did we know that, or we only know that now after Tears of the Kingdom?
I don't know when it got confirmed, but it's got confirmed as non-canon. I think what were you asking though? What was your question?
Yeah, like what is this Ganondorf if it's not the same lineage? If it's not the same lineage as the other Ganondorf.
Yeah, here's the problem I'm gonna have. So this Ganondorf is from way ancient times in the Breath of the Wild universe. So where I think Breath of the Wild takes place in, where a lot of people think Breath of the Wild takes place, is it's so far into the future, right? That the possibilities of every timeline happening, you know, like the Wind Waker timeline, the hero's defeat timeline, all that.
It doesn't even matter anymore. It's been so long.
No, not that it doesn't matter. It's just that everything could have happened, and then it all combines back into the Breath of the Wild.
Gotcha. Yep.
So the Ganondorf that's in Tears of the Kingdom is the original. Well, it's going to tell you. Do you like mind if I tell you where he's from? He's just from.
I promise you, I don't care.
You know Rauru in Tears of the Kingdom, the furry.
Yes.
So Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom is from Raru's time when he established Hyrule as a kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's basically just Hyrule just getting refounded and refounded and refounded over time. What I hate is that they don't bring up the Triforce at all. It like fucking got retconned or something. The Golden Triangle been since the first game got retconned. Was that all the question you had about the?
Wait, so Ganondorf is just one of the furry's ops? That's it?
Well, he's the Gerudo King, and the Gerudo King is supposed to be born every 100 years. So it makes no fucking sense that there was not a Gerudo King in Breath of the Wild.
Because Link has been asleep for 100 years.
Yes. So they're literally, logically speaking, canonically speaking, there should have been a fucking Gerudo King in Breath of the Wild. And that would have been cool if there was just a nonchalant Ganondorf just roaming around. Like he does, you know what I mean? He doesn't always have to be evil.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a Gerudo King. Just because you're a Gerudo King doesn't mean you are committing, 53% of the violent crime.
And that would have been a crazy thing to establish in Breath of the Wild if, like, say if Ganondorf in that game became this like one of the sages that helped you own the like run the divine beast. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He's a king. Like basically like purging a former king. You know what I mean? Like that's what the relationship would be. Like you came from my people, but like I don't mess with you because you're evil. That would have been dope.
That would have been fucking like sick as hell. But no, they gotta like they can't, for some reason they can't ditch the source material. Like Ganondorf's always got to be evil. All the turtles in Mario got to be evil.
Exactly, bro. Like there's some good turtle. You're telling me every single turtle's doing that willingly? Like you're lying.
Oh,
you're lying.
Bullshit.
It's BS.
Want to talk about upcoming games?
Yeah. Wait, before we do though, bro. Jimmy Graham back on the Saints. We did it, baby. Woohoo, baby. Hell yeah. We had to put it very deep in the episode.
Wait, what episode?
We had to put like the Jimmy Graham announcement very deep into this episode. We couldn't say it off rip. We're not a football podcast.
Jimmy Graham, Jimmy G, baby. Yo, fucking Sean Payton ruined his career.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. He's old as bones now.
What do you think about what are your expectations for Spider-Man 2?
Oh, that's what we should have. Dude, Spider-Man 2. Everyone's roasting Miles because he has the Valorant haircut, the dreads with the fade, and nobody in actual real life has that haircut. But, like, everything else looks so dope. And you know what? We're getting new freaking boroughs. We're getting Brooklyn for sure. We might get the Bronx, too. Like, everything in this game looks so dope. The only thing I don't understand is, like, I'm not a Marvel fan. How is Kraven powerful? Like it's just a dude. But I guess that's going to be explained. But like literally I have like not a bad thing to say about it except for Peter's face.
Huh. Dude, Peter's face is more fucked up than just Pearly Things takes.
No, Peter's face on its own does a tribute song to Nick Fuentes. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, no, like I'm hype off of it. It's gonna look sick on the PS5. Venom's gonna be there. We're getting black suit. We're gonna get a ton of black suits. Like, no, this game's gonna be, and it's coming out in September. It's coming out next month.
Dude, I might have to buy. This might be a console seller for me, which is why I'm really fucking pissed off because I literally have no reason to buy a PS5 other than this game.
Nah, bro. Final Fantasy 7 too. You'll have like 4 or 5 games you need a PS5 for, which sucks. Which absolutely sucks that you need to buy a whole console for 4 or 5 games.
I mean, I did that with a Nintendo Switch, but
that was different. That was a different time. Everyone was buying Switches.
Nobody, yeah, literally, Switch was so dope, and when I had it day one and nobody else fucking had it, bro. That shit was fire.
I didn't even have it until like a month before Smash Bros. Came out.
Yeah, I remember that shit. You literally bought that while you were like in your college semesters. I think Spider-Man 2, dude, everything about this game looks sick. And I see people being like, oh, they have the same swing mechanics. Shut up, dude. You think Spider-Man's going to like stop swinging a certain way just because he's a certain age? Like yeah, because exactly. He went... Like, bro's gonna swing how he always swings. Every Spider-Man has a swinging style. And
bro, people had the funniest jokes about that. It's like, all right, I've been walking like this for 1 year. Time to do a new walking animation. A time for me, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how real people work. You know, like, you have the way you walk, and that's it. And, like, you really think I'm going to complain about the same swing animation when I just watched a movie where Jill Valentine has the same model 10 years later? Like, yeah, no, you're good on the animation. That's okay.
I really like how they I didn't think they would be able to increase the mobility, but it's seemingly they did it with the glide suits and the air turbine, the air currents.
Yeah, no, those, you are literally like flying, and like that's quick. Like you can get around so quick before. And no, did you also see the slingshot? I think it was Miles. Was it Miles?
Yeah,
that was dope.
That was so cool. Yeah, that's literally like that's straight up like comic book material.
Yeah,
or like I never thought I'd be playing a game where it's just, oh, dude, it looks perfect. And Venom looks amazing. Can't remember the last time we did a Harry Osborn Venom.
No, that's so dope. It's obviously a Harry Osborn Venom. And the thing is, you've read more of the comics and you know more about Spider-Man than me, but I've seen people like talk about, oh, is Venom like synthetic? Is he man-made or is he an alien? Because whenever it's man-made, it sucks. I don't think I care. Like I don't think there's a big distinction between the two. I don't think I care if it's man-made or an alien. Like, as long as it hits, that's all I care about.
I think it's just people fucking soygasming over it. Like, I love Alien Venom. It makes so much sense for an alien to come onto Earth. Oh, it's so cool. That means that confirms Planet of the Symbiotes. Fuck off. I think it doesn't matter because, dude, I think Ultimate Venom was man-made as well, and that dude is sick as hell.
Yeah, I just like how Venom looks too. Like his torso is like 7 times his waist. Like, they got the ratio of how he should look perfect. It's perfect.
I don't understand how, like, and you know what's gonna happen?
What?
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna fuck up Venom with the very next Disney Marvel movie.
No
They're
way.
They're gonna fuck it. Yeah, because at the end of what movie was it? Yeah, No Way Home. At the end of No Way Home, Eddie Brock got transported to that universe. Remember?
Oh no, that's fan service, bro. That can't be real. That's fan service, I think.
He got transported to that world, and at the end, the end credit scene, it showed the symbiote left on the countertop.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. They did have that.
Because here's what's gonna happen: they're gonna fuck up Venom in that universe because they're gonna give it to Flash Thompson, who sucks in that universe.
I don't even remember him in that universe. Is he only in the first movie?
He's in all 3. He's the bully.
Wait.
He's the dude who started writing you like, yeah, yo, I'm Spider-Man's friend because he found out that Peter Parker was...
he's the rich guy. He's the rich guy.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'd be lame as hell.
Yep, well, that's what... I feel like that's what they're going to do, and it's going to be really annoying, but for some reason, Sony is the only people who can publish Spider-Man because they do it right.
Yeah. And you know what too? Like with it's kind of sad because like I feel like what was it? After Into the Spider-Verse, right? That's the first movie. After Into the Spider-Verse, I feel like I've been slapped in the face with Miles like 10 times. Like, Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 1. Is that really it? Spider-Man Miles Morales, Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2. It's like a lot of Miles Morales material, like just back to back to back to back. But like, I don't know. Like, people are saying Miles Morales isn't really like even Spider-Man, like especially when Peter Parker's still in the picture, because he's just playing like sidekick at that point. And I kind of agree. Like, I kind of like Miles on his own, but like every single piece of media he's in, it's like with Peter Parker or like some version of Peter Parker. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, it almost makes me think every time they're going to kill Peter Parker, which obviously they did it in Across the Spider-Verse, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're going to kill one of them to just, like, I feel like they shouldn't do that. I feel like this is a very unique, and I feel like it's a very unique thing to have going, because I know the Ultimate Spider-Man was, like, Miles, I think in the Ultimate Comics, he was originally taught by Peter Parker, but Peter dies of the Green Goblin. Yeah. I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But to keep them all together, it's a really good dynamic.
It's like stuck between a hard and the rock place, because like you either have to accept that Miles Morales is like a sidekick-esque when people think Spider-Man, like for like the Spider-Man games, it's going to be Peter Parker Spider-Man and then Miles Morales Spider-Man. He's like the second guy. It's either that's always going to be the case or you have to kill off Peter. Like, obviously Peter's not going to retire. That's not going to work. And like, I guess that's why the comics are cool, because you have like one small little moment in time where you could just be like, you know, one comic line where Peter Parker dies and you could just focus on this different character. It's just like too much resources to, I guess, dedicate Miles Morales, like dedicate a movie to him or dedicate a game to him.
where he's in his own
Yeah.
universe just by himself, like in the comics. But it is what it is.
It works though. I don't even think it's overpowered because when it's a Spider-Man movie or a Spider-Man game, it's always just Spider-Man. Like it's never Spider-Man and like the Avengers or anything.
True.
So to have that second like dude watching like they're watching each other, it's almost like a brother dynamic, which I really like.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see it too. Like Spider-Man 2 is the first game we're going to see them together normally. Like after all the movies I mentioned, Peter, like the in universe Peter Parker and in universe Miles Morales really just don't exist together. Like Peter B. Parker and Miles Morales don't count because like they were like challenging some specific like multiverse threat. But just like two Spider-Men doing New York City stuff, we have not seen that at all. So like maybe they are going to like keep it interesting because you know what, New York City's big. Miles can go have his own campaign in Brooklyn at Brooklyn
But
Visions. Wait, was that?
Brooklyn, but in Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah. Like you know, like it. I just hope like they don't like crowd each other up too much. It's going to have to be a lot of content to flesh them both out because like they're both going to have their own stories. That's what it is. That's what it's going to have to be.
Yeah, how I think it's going to go is I think it's going to be Peter's story versus the main threat, which is probably going to be Venom, and then Miles' story is going to be Miles and MJ versus Peter because he's obviously going to get the suit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I take that back. I feel it's going to be Peter going for Craven, and then Miles and MJ going after the symbiote.
That could be dope.
I don't know how to do this because they got Craven in it.
Yeah.
Like it's how I'm thinking the story's going to play out.
You know what? Having depending on the length of the game, you already know I don't like super long games, but depending on the length of the game, they actually could play this perfect with like a couple primary antagonists. So like in Spider-Man PS4, the first game, you have the Mr. Negative, I think his name is, and Doc Ock. Those are both two really big antagonists in that game, and the rest of the Sinister Six are just like mini bosses, basically, like bosses you face now and then, and like they could have like again, they could have like you said, two main villains. It could be Craven, and it could be Venom / the symbiote, and then each person could have their own like villain. Peter had to like go through two villains really quick at the end of Spider-Man 1. He beat Mr. Negative and then like he battled Doc Ock like the next night. It was super quick. So like maybe they each have their own build up. We'll see.
That's true. The thing that's going to suck with Venom though is that he's like we already know Harry's like Peter's friend, but we're not going to like we haven't have seen that. Like we just know he has been in like an incubation chamber.
Yeah.
We don't really have that lore build up. So when Venom drops, it's just going to be Venom popping in. Unless I think one of the trailers, I'm not sure if it was a flashback or if it was concurrent of Harry talking with Peter.
Yeah, no, I think it was probably current. I think it was current based on some of the stuff they were saying. But really quick, Green Goblin does not exist like Osborn as Green Goblin does not exist in that game, or it doesn't exist in that game yet, right?
Peter, remember Miles Morales and Miles had the training from Peter. One of the battles was with the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin outside of his university for like one of the training simulators that Peter set up for him.
Yeah.
It was like I can't remember if it was Hobgoblin or Green Goblin.
So that's just weird if they do Harry Osborn as Venom before Norman Osborn as Green Goblin. I don't remember clearly. I have to look it up, but that'd be really weird because I'm assuming if Harry's all good at the end of this game, I'll be a little surprised.
It was the Vulture. So yeah, we haven't been introduced to any of those in that universe.
Yeah. So the timeline on that is a little bit weird. I don't know if we're also maybe getting Green Goblin in this game. That would make sense. That would make it would be shocking to me if like Harry Osborn turns into Venom, somehow dies, and then
Norman has not become Green Goblin yet. Or maybe that'd be really good motivation for him to become Green Goblin to kill Spider-Man who killed his son. But at this point, I'm just theory hopping. That's just off the top of my head. Sony, hire me.
This is all theoretical. I think regardless of how the game's going to play out, it's going to be goated. I trust Sony and I trust PlayStation.
I trust Sony at this point too, to be honest. I trust them with the movies. I trust them with anything that ends with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, they're good.
We discussed before that Sony is the best thing that happens to Spider-Man.
Except for that, 2-year Andrew Garfield gap, but
bro, even then, apparently got a fan base.
You know what? I don't think it's as bad as people say, really.
I think people just hated on him because they were just coming off. They were expecting the Spider-Man 4, and obviously, no, we didn't get that. So I think that's why people were hating it.
Yeah, because what is it? Who is it? The director, Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi's like, bro, I am not doing. Didn't they want to like make him do a movie with like 10 antagonists? Okay. We're getting off track. Anything else you want to talk about Spider-Man 2 wise before we freaking close this out?
No, not in particular.
All right.
But,
yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No, game looks dope. I'm playing it like it's going to be like one of those games. Like, I haven't touched Final Fantasy 16. I haven't touched any of the really like big games that came out this year. But once Spider-Man 2 drops, I'm like playing that for 4 days straight. And I'm just beating it like one sitting. I beat Spider-Man 1 in one sitting. So like I'm probably going to try to do the same with Spider-Man 2.
I mean, I guess that's a nostalgic base time because you were probably in school, you were probably on winter break or something like that, and you were just gaming.
Yeah.
And that was how I felt when I played it when I was on winter break, and you let me play it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think I want to close with, what do you think about the congressional alien hearing?
Bro, I've heard very little things about this. I've heard a little birdie here or there, but apparently it's just one crazy guy saying that like this has happened, but he hasn't supported, like he doesn't have anything to back it up. That's the top level stuff that I've heard.
Well, then there was a whole, I think like a court hearing over the past 2 days, with like they were interviewing several people, and I don't know if they were like obviously like highly like ranked like Navy and like Air Force people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to like why there's been so much like alien conspiracy in the past. Why like would we deny the first thing coming from like like official U.S. Air Force? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like this is like just something just like the way the process works. So when you testify in front of Congress like that, I'm pretty sure you are like liable to perjury. So if they find out you lied, you can like literally just serve prison time. So like them people coming out and saying stuff about this, at the risk of perjury isn't isn't something to be taken lightly, you know what I mean? So like the fact that someone's willing to put jail time on like what would be a lie kind of shows that like, okay, maybe they're putting their back up for this, you know what I mean? They're putting their reputation, they're putting their freedom up for this. So maybe it is real to some extent, you know what I mean? It gives them a little bit credibility. And the thing is too, like obviously aliens are real in some aspect, right? Like it's just like multiverse theory. It's like we have there's so many planets. We're just one planet out of so many. Like it'd be like probability wise, it'd be foolish to say there's no other life anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? Exoplanets, the ones that have life on it that are obviously billions of years away.
Yeah. There's like literally every day they find like 4 planets just like Earth, but like they're just so far away.
So why would it? And here's the thing, like since caveman times, like bro, like obviously it's taken like 20,000 years to kind of probably like even way longer than that to get to where we are now. But like, think about the time from like the Revolutionary era to like, or like the industrialization era to like where we are now. Like what, like 1 to 200 years,
Yeah, very
and
short,
now
very short.
yeah. So like it took us long to get like where we were, but once we started like getting to like higher technology, like, we've like moved very quickly.
Yeah.
So, and also kind of like aliens interfering with the timeline. I'm like, I already believe that shit because you can't tell me that, you know, Benjamin Franklin walked out with a kite and was like, oh, light bulb. You know what I mean?
Bro, I thought that's confirmed fake. Is it
Look it
not?
up.
Did he actually do that? I'm pretty sure that's not real, bro. Wait. The aliens might have got me. Bernstein Bears. Bernstein Bears. Bernstein Bears. Bernstein Bears. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Yo, Benjamin Franklin rep Philly.
He really did. W Mans, first of all. But
Okay,
the thing is,
Benjamin Franklin.
like with caveman though, like a lot of the people who talk about UFO stuff, like we talk like like folktales and stuff with like
Yeah.
cavemen and stuff, like nothing that has to do with UFOs should be believed before like 1990, bro. Like I don't want to hear anything before no, honestly like 1950, because like caveman and like stuff written in caves, bro, like they didn't even have glasses. I do not trust them at all.
I think I would put UFOs back as far as World War II.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There's this, I strongly believe that the Nazis were obviously they were methed out of their mind. I think they were literally trying to build super weapons. Obviously, besides the atomic bomb, like they had some fucking weird ass blueprints.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't lie to you. I'm not too knowledgeable on everything the Nazis built. But like since you're the expert, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I am the expert on Nazis.
Wow. Want to expand on that a little? No, just kidding.
Oh man. No, like there was a whole thing with like pilots going to Antarctica and seeing weird shit and like weird tunnels and underground bunkers and stuff. And now there's like I think there's like a thing where like you can't go to a certain part of Antarctica, like you will be told to go away, or like there's like a certain base there. There's things like there's like blueprints of them having teleporter devices. This is obviously the Nazis, like them having this weird bell shaped thing. I think it's called just like the bell or something like that. There is just really like weird shit, and like you can't, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things like you were saying with the Senate, like they were putting their lives on the line to like prove about this aliens, and I feel like there's only so far you can go with a lie. So like where like you have to start like really thinking about whether if it's real or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously, like you said, caveman days, like people didn't have good eyesight or something. So like there could have been things with like people like seeing like dragons, and like obviously it's just probably
exactly.
like or something. But like I feel with the UFO thing, it's obviously it's all sci-fi. I feel like it's really hard. I don't know. Like we have planes now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is, like I say the caveman thing, but like if a top Navy official saying it, I'm gonna have to watch like a highlight to the hearing. But like if top Navy officials are hearing it, these are people with like proven eyesight. First of all, that's the most important thing. But like a lot of stupid people call in like UFOs when it's just like a plane over their house. Somebody who's like a captain, or, I don't know the ranks in the Navy, but a captain in the Navy would not make the same stupid mistake. You know what I mean? It's like it's coming from a qualified person.
Exactly. And you have multiple of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely have to watch these freaking hearings. No. In between this episode and next episode, I'm gonna have to watch the hearings, and I'm gonna have to freaking write my thoughts.